From the Samsung Production Studios in the heart of Hazleton, Pennsylvania, it's your News 13.
Brought to you by SSPTV and the Standard Speaker.
It's been months since he was found badly beaten on a Hazleton street. Since then, he's fought for his life and for a full recovery. The latest on A.J. Gorel, our top story on News 13 for this Thursday. Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Kathy Baczynski. Well, the good news about Andrew A.J. Gorel tonight is that he is making progress, but still has a long road to go. Christina Papa spoke with his family today to get an update on how the beating victim is doing.
It's one step forward and 3 steps back for beating victim Andrew A.J. Gorel.
For Carol and myself, this has been one roller coaster ride. I said the last 6 days have been phenomenal for us.
Back in March, 33-year-old A.J. Gorel was found brutally beaten and unresponsive on Lafayette Court in Hazleton. He suffered skull fractures, a broken jaw, even his fingers and toes injured. Since then, he's undergone a major brain surgery. So for A.J.'s father, the smallest improvements mean so much.
Yesterday, he drank water for the first time by himself. He picked the cup up and started drinking it by himself. So right now, we're on a roll.
But small changes are still changes in brain trauma. For A.J. to drink an entire cup of water by himself is a big deal.
Yesterday, for the first time, he had 8 spoons of applesauce, and he swallowed them by himself. In brain trauma, that's great.
A.J. has lost 49 pounds since the incident. He's not able to speak just yet, but he has begun to respond in other ways.
Tracking with his eyes and swallowing. He can identify objects, he can identify color.
A.J.'s family has pushed for the community to help find his attacker, but this case is still unsolved.
They just said that they're working on it, and I don't blame them because them people are still on the street, and we want them in jail where they belong.
Still, the family is hopeful and grateful to the community for their support.
These people have done so much for the Gorel family and for A.J. We don't even know where to begin to even thank you people. We can't say enough, but dear Lord, thank you. Thank all you people in Hazleton.
Christina Papa, News 13, Hazleton.
Hazleton police say that a man posing as a door-to-door salesman got into a home and sexually assaulted a woman yesterday. They say it happened yesterday afternoon around 2 p.m. Investigators say that a male was going door-to-door in the area of Walnut and Locust Streets trying to sell some items. When the man got into the victim's home, he apparently assaulted her. Here's his description. He's an Hispanic male, about 5'6" tall, with a medium build, short hair, and a goatee. He was wearing a blue T-shirt with yellow lettering and jeans. The Hazleton police ask if anybody has any info about it to call 911. The trial continues in Schuylkill County Court for a man charged with murder after he left a man tied to a tree and that man died. Keith Reber of Schuylkill Haven is on trial in the death of Brian Smith of Orwigsburg in 2012. His case went to the jury today. Yesterday, Reber took the stand and told jurors that even though he tied Smith to a tree and left him there, he only wanted to teach him a lesson about stealing, and that Smith actually wanted to be punished as a time out to think out about his actions. Prosecutors say that Reber punished Smith because he thought Smith was trying to steal his girlfriend. Smith died after being tied to a tree in a wooded area for almost 20 hours. Defense has argued that there was methamphetamine in Smith's body, and that's what killed him. Hazleton police say the man wanted in a shooting incident early Tuesday morning is somewhere in New York or New Jersey. Investigators think that 42-year-old Daniel Augusto Soto made a run for it out of the area after firing shots inside a home in Hazleton. He's wanted on 6 counts of aggravated assault. Police were called to 5th and Wyoming streets at around 3:30 Tuesday morning for reports of shots fired in a home. They say apparently Augusto Soto entered the home of his ex-girlfriend, found a man and a juvenile with her. Police say a fight occurred and he fired a shot before leaving. Nobody was injured. Police say Augusto Soto is considered armed and dangerous, and if you spot him, call 911. A former New Jersey man has agreed to plead guilty to federal charges for his role in a robbery spree that targeted 11 stores in Luzerne, Carbon, and Schuylkill counties between 2011 and 2012. Tysheed Hargrove took a plea deal on 11 counts of robbery. Under the agreement, Hargrove will serve 10 years in prison for all charges. Hargrove and a co-defendant, Jose Nunez, were indicted in September for a string of armed robberies at convenience stores in several towns, including Hazleton, Hazel Township, and Foster Township. They were arrested when Tamaqua police spotted them in a car that matched the description of a car used in several of those robberies. A local Pennsylvania Superior Judge is one step closer to filling the empty seat on the Pennsylvania Supreme Court. State Senate panel voted unanimously this morning to recommend Judge Coriel Stevens to fill the vacant seat on the Pennsylvania Supreme Court. The Senate will take a formal vote on his appointment within the next couple of days. Stevens will have to receive 2/3 vote to be appointed to the Supreme Court. The local judge was nominated by Governor Corbett to fill the open seat for former Justice Joan Ori Melvin, who was convicted on public corruption charges. Stevens has told News 13 he'll not just be another seat warmer. He plans to be very active within the court. If voted through by the Senate, Judge Stevens will serve on the Supreme Court for the next 2.5 years until January 2016. Well, it's a decision officials in Rice Township hoped they'd never have to make, but earlier this week they decertified the township's only fire department. As Matthew Petrillo tells us, the department won't be recertified anytime soon, and residents are concerned.
It's a scene firemen here in Rice Township thought they'd never have to see. But after years of butting heads with township officials, their former home away from home is now vacant and sits wrapped in yellow caution tape. Township supervisors voted this week to decertify the fire department in a 2-to-1 vote. Supervisor Chairman Miller Stella Jr. was one of the 2 votes who supported the decision.
For a long, long time, my heart has been very heavy. It's like a cinder block being on your chest. You know, you don't want to see a fire department go down since it was started up in 1955.
Fire service for Rice Township will now be contracted with Wright Township. Stella says the decision is all legal because the Rice Township Fire Department has broken an ordinance it agreed to follow several times.
We have also had a lot of problems with our fire department within the last 2 years. We tried very much to correct these problems, and we did not have the cooperation that we should have had.
Now the ordinance states that the volunteer fire department has to provide adequate emergency and fire services since the township gives it taxpayer money. But the Board of Supervisors says that's been compromised because the fire department has been plagued by problems for years. Specifically, the supervisors say the firemen had a lack of adequately trained volunteers who reside in Rice Township, financial mismanagement, and even illegal burning on fire department property.
We have to do what's right and what's in the best interest of all residents at all times. And if you don't do that, you shouldn't even be a supervisor. It's a tough decision to make, and my heart is heavy. But I know in my heart I made the right decision.
The Wright Township Fire Department is having a meeting Thursday night with Rice Township residents. It starts at 7:30, and News 13 will be there with the full report tomorrow. Matthew Petrillo, News 13, Rice Township.
And still ahead on News 13, get ready for a big washout, including some severe storms moving through tonight. We'll have the latest on News 13 weather. And then all's not well at a well in one area, and that has local residents on the boil. We'll tell you about it when News 13 continues. Well, imagine having hot weather like we've been having and having no water. Well, that's been the case for one town in Schuylkill County. But as Matthew Petrillo tells us, most of the water, fortunately, back on and running.
Michael Delinsky turned on the faucet in his bathroom to brush his teeth yesterday morning to find the water didn't look right.
Yeah, it was brown, yeah. And in the sink in the bathroom was brown.
He says he was grossed out.
Oh, yeah. I know not to touch it or not, or drink it, that's for sure.
He was later told this by the workers in his community home.
Don't drink the water at all.
His room wasn't alone. All 140 apartments in the building, plus the entire building next door, had dirty water.
We thought that maybe a pipe burst and they had to fix it. Yeah, I mean, it's happened that you have a pipe, there's a leak and then you get dirty water.
But that wasn't the problem. The well that supplies the building with water had just about dried up. The water department had to shut off the water to fix the problem. And in the meantime, residents were told to boil any water they would drink.
They didn't know exactly when they were going to get it fixed, so they were conserving.
Now residents were given bottled water to drink, but because the water coming out of their faucets turned black, they couldn't use it for everyday purposes like doing laundry or even taking a shower. But the community helped out. Walmart donated dozens of cases of bottled water.
We did have to wash some towels and some sheets, and the administrator at Schoolyard Square, another facility in Pine Grove, was kind enough to let us use her washer so that we could have sheets and pillowcase, or and linen like that.
And as for Mr. Delinsky, he was finally able to take a shower today.
And it's clear, but it come out a little dirty, but it cleared up as it ran. And in the sink, I brushed my teeth.
Residents still have to drink from bottled water, but they were told it shouldn't take too much longer to fix the problem. Matthew Petrillo, News 13, Pine Grove.
And time now for our regional weather from the National Weather Service, and we're going to begin with some important information for folks in Schuylkill County. The National Weather Service has issued a tornado watch for Schuylkill County until 10 o'clock tonight. Now, that's a watch, not a warning, but they're just as serious. So keep an eye on the skies through this evening. Let's check the radar, and we'll take a look at why that watch is in place. Here come the storms, heavy thunderstorms, rain continuing right through this evening. The more severe storms predicted for slightly to our north and spreading across the northern tier counties, but we can still expect as much as 2 inches of rain. That could lead to localized flooding and once again a tornado watch in effect for Schuylkill County. Our creative condition is about a summertime visit to the Big Apple. It's by Delisa Mendoza, a student at Hazelton Elementary Middle School, and she says it's a hot day in the city with her name up in lights on the Empire State Building. And let's take a look at News 13 weather from the National Weather Service for Greater Hazelton for tonight. Rain, possibly a thunderstorm. Some of the storms could produce heavy rainfall with up to 2 inches of rain, low down to 65 degrees. And for tomorrow, cloudy, scattered afternoon showers or thunderstorms, a high near 77. Scattered showers and thunderstorms continue into the overnight with a low around 64. And heading to Schuylkill County, once again, National Weather Service has issued a tornado watch for Schuylkill County till 10 p.m. Otherwise tonight, showers and possibly a thunderstorm right into the overnight. Some of those storms could produce heavy rainfall, low down to 66. Then for Friday, showers, thunderstorms likely right through the day, a high near 80. They continue at night with a low around 61 degrees. Well, kids have been enjoying a summer full of sports, faith, and fun at Faith Assembly of God in Hazel Township, and it's still not too late to join up. As a part of the summer-long mega sports camp, pre-K through 6th graders are encouraged to jump in on the basketball, soccer, cheerleading, even some drama programs offered absolutely free through the church. Positive message is reinforced while the children make friends and learn to be themselves.
Having fun and learning about what's right, what's wrong, and fair play.
The message of this camp is extremely positive, 100% positive feedback. Children need a place to experience positive feedback in coaching. So that's a very important part. And then it's got to be rooted in something meaningful, like the Bible, God's Word. It's rooted in that. So all the truths that come out come from that. And that ultimately is where we can share those truths and those principles through athletics.
And for more information on the Mega Sports Camp, visit the church's website at faith-ag.com. And let's check the winning midday lottery numbers. Good luck if you play. The Daily, 535. The Big Four, 8298. Quinto, 64379. And the Treasure Hunt, 5, 18, 19, 20, 24. Hope you won.
Good evening, everyone, and here's tonight's social news. First tonight, happy birthday to Dolores McCauley. This wish comes with love from your husband, Edward, his sisters, and brothers. Also tonight, happy 40th birthday to Anthony DeGanzi. He celebrates on Saturday from Mary, Mom, Dad, Joe, Patty, and Uncle Frank. Tonight's Talk of the Town report, All Saints Church will be holding their festival Saturday, June 29th and Sunday, June 30th, featuring great entertainment both nights, plenty of food, treat trays, bake sale, games, and more. Join them Saturday from 5 to 10 and Sunday from 11 to 7. And finally, Nesquebec State Park will be holding the program Kayaking Level 3, Brady's Lake Paddle on Wednesday, July 17th at 1:30. You must be an experienced paddler for this program, and you must register in advance. Space is limited, so call today 570-403-2006. That's tonight's social news. News 13 would like to send sincere condolences to the family and friends of these recently departed. Margaret Tammy of West Hazelton. Funeral is Saturday at 10:30 a.m. from the Turnbach Funeral Home. Friends make all Friday from 6 to 8 p.m. George Walshko of Hazelton. Services will be held at the convenience of the family from the McNulty Funeral Home. Diane Sherkness, formerly of Mahanoy City, the Louis D. Truskowski Funeral Home, is in charge of arrangements. Madison K. Arner of McAdoo. Memorial service will be held Tuesday at noon in the Damiano Funeral Home. Friends may call from 10 a.m. to noon. Rosemary O'Donnell of Trenton, New Jersey. Mass is Friday at 10 a.m. in the Annunciation Parish at the Church of St. Gabriel. Friends may call at their church Friday from 9 to 10 a.m. Arrangements are under the direction of the Joseph B. Conahan Funeral Home. Joseph Boyer of McAdoo. Funeral is Saturday at 9:30 a.m. from the Stanley Anilowski Funeral Home. Friends may call Friday from 6 to 8 p.m. Catherine A. Vitagliano of Hazelton. Funeral is Saturday at 9 a.m. from the Frank J. Bonin Funeral Home. Friends may call Friday from 6 to 8 p.m. And Charlotte E. Tansen, formerly of Freeland. Funeral is Saturday at 10 a.m. in the Our Lady of Immaculate Conception Parish at St. Anne's Church. Friends may call Friday from 5 to 8 p.m. and Saturday from 8:30 to 9:30 at the McNulty Funeral Home. Tonight's obituaries have been brought to you by the Smilax Floral Shop located on 15th Street in Hazleton. For delivery to all local funeral homes, call 570-454-0111. And by Mia's, once again the Hazleton area's #1 rated restaurant. Call 570-501-3410 for information on luncheon packages.
SSPTV Sports on News 13 with Fred Barletta Jr.
Well, the District 18 Little League Baseball All-Star Tournament in full gear. There's 4 teams left in the winners bracket part of the tournament. And going into last night, there was double that, 8 still alive. But of course, if they were playing last night, that means that 4 teams would advance, 4 teams would be eliminated. Let's take a look and tell you how it all came down last night. As we take a look, you can see the elimination bracket. Hazleton on the short end of things, the Hazel Township. So a disappointment for Hazleton. 2 games in the tournament and 2 losses, and they are out. Valley East, meanwhile, survives. They get by Franklin Township. Talminzing eliminates Freeland. They 10-run ruled them there. And for Freeland, 2 and out. Same with Whitehaven, 2 and out. Tri-County knocked them off. So here's the way it's going to line up now in that elimination bracket. Hazel Township will take on Valley East at Valley East on Saturday, and Tri-County and Talminzing will square off. That'll be on Saturday as well. So that tournament starting to move on and getting things done. Now, as far as the 9 and 10-year-old tournament, there's action tonight. At least we could say it's scheduled. As you can see with the impending weather, I don't know if these games are going to get in or not. But anyhow, straight up at 6 o'clock, it's Valley East, Valley West, and it's West Hazleton and Hazleton. Talk about 2 backyard rivalries right there. But this is elimination bracket games. But again, I don't know if they're going to get them in. Down south, you've got the Blues playing each other. Tamaqua Blue against Jim Thorpe Blue. Wonder if Ackroyd and Bellucci are going to throw out the first ball. Meanwhile, Franklin Township and Tamaqua White, they're scheduled to square up as well. As we said, everything there pending on the weather, so we'll wait and see. I guess that weather that we're now getting was down the coast a little bit last night because they got 3 innings in down in Norfolk last night before the rains let loose, and they washed out the Columbus-Norfolk game. They're playing 2 tonight, so a double dip on the makeup. The Rail Riders got their game in, and they're glad they did because they doubled up on Syracuse 6-3. And in the nightcap, Syracuse came back and got them 5-3. Durham, who's in first place, they're 6-5 winners over the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs. There is your schedule, including that double dip. So hopefully the weather cooperates down south tonight as well. Major League Baseball, you're taking a look at the Rays. Now, they got a solid pitching performance yesterday. That wasn't the problem. The problem was that they got in trouble offensively. R.A. Dickey was absolutely on top of his game with the knuckleball last night, and Joe Maddon's club got a grand total of 2 hits. You're not going to win a lot of games when that happens, but he looked very much the Cy Young Award winner last night. Final in this one, Toronto, 3-0. And so what you got there is the Rays take the series 2 games to 1, 2 of the best of 3, and they are now going to have the day off, and we'll see what happens. As far as what's going on today, the Yankees, rubber game here in the Bronx. It's going on right now. Yankees in Texas. The Mets open up a series in Colorado. The Phillies move up the left coast from San Diego to Los Angeles. The Pirates have the day off, and they can relish in the fact that they are in first place. This is the latest that the Pirates have been in first place in over 20 years this late in the season.
And we've got a program note to tell you about. Starting July 1st, News 13 is moving to a new time. We will be moving from our 4 p.m. time slot to live at 5, Monday through Friday. That's News 13, live at 5, starting on Monday, July 1st. Watch us anytime at SSPTV.com. Plenty more news and information headed your way on News 13. We will update an unsolved crime in our area and hear the latest on its victims' fight for recovery. That story and much more news when the 13 crew comes right back.